Hi everyone. This is another tutorial for Art 363B with Jesse Pack. If you are taking the class, you should be able to download the file over here. Otherwise, you are just watching this on YouTube or whatever platform, you should be able to find the download in the descriptions. But otherwise, today we are going to jump into learning how to use the color dodge tool. So for this exercise, you're going to go ahead and download the file over here called colordodge.psd. And once you've downloaded it, we're going to go ahead and navigate over to Photoshop. So I'll probably make another video or talk about this in my class for those of you on my class on blending modes. But as kind of a start to blending modes, we're going to learn how to use color dodge first. So what are blending modes? Blending modes are basically different effects that you can apply to your layers and also to your brushes too. If you go to the top left, you can actually apply these to your brushes. And the best way for me to describe it is that these effects will take whatever color value and saturation you choose. So any of these tones over here on this color area or like in your swatch over here, and whatever you put on top, so if I set this on multiply, for example, and I go for a red, right? It's going to take that red and mix it with everything below, and it will also add an extra effect onto it, which in this case, it darkens whatever's under it. So different blending modes are going to give you slightly different effects. Some of them will lighten up whatever's underneath it. Some of it will blend and push contrast with whatever's underneath it. But in general, what you need to know is that it mixes with the colors underneath. In this case, the red is very strong, so we can kind of see that. If I tone down the red a little bit, you can see some of that green and like white starts to peek through again. But and in addition to that, it will also apply an extra effect that either lightens, darkens, or pushes contrast. But different blending modes have different effects, as you can kind of see over here. We'll be doing another exercise that kind of goes more in depth in these, but just as a starter, let's play around with one of the blending modes called color dodge. So what does color dodge do? Color dodge. So we're going to make a new layer. If you haven't yet, you can do that by pressing the new layer button on the bottom right. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead and switch this over to color dodge. Color dodge will take whatever color you have, mix it underneath, and it will push the saturation and make it more vibrant. So add, well, it's a little redundant. It will push the saturation and it will lighten up the image. So it does make it more vibrant, but it lightens up your values and really pushes that saturation. So what we're going to do is we're going to use color dodge to create this neon sign. Now, some of the things that you have to be aware of with color dodge is it doesn't work the best with things that are too bright. Like if I use white on this white area, it almost makes it just not like readable. If I use something really dark like black, it actually doesn't do anything. So you can see it gets rid of all that vibrancy to like its original, to the original way it looks. So usually color dodge works best with midtones. So if I go here and I grab like a midtone red, you can see it pushes it out. It makes it lighter and more saturated, but it doesn't overexpose or blow out the image with too much of that intensity. See, if I use this very intense red, it does make it pretty neon, but it kind of blows out the lights a little too much. So usually like a mid-tone red or mid-tone in general does the best job. If you need a moment to play around with this, feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, here's how I would do the assignment. So First and foremost, you want to make a new layer and set it at color dodge again. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and go to your brushes, and I want you all to go ahead and select your soft round brush with pressure and opacity. If you're not able to select that brush, you can grab a round brush, just a soft round, and then you can go ahead and turn on transfer over here on the top. This will allow us to have pen pressure sensitivity in terms of our opacity. So the harder I press, the more opaque it'll be, but the lighter I press, sorry, it got turned off. The lighter I press, the more transparent it's going to be. So I can control how bright I want these lights to look. Once you have that, the easiest way to grab these midtones, in my opinion, is just to use your eyedropper tool. You can either click on the eyedropper tool on the left or go to your brush and hold the Alt key. If you're on a Mac, it's going to be Alt Option. And I'm going to make my soft brush a little bit bigger. So you can see it, you can see like the range of my brush defines the fall off of the light. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly glaze over these parts to push these neon signs. For this part, I'm just going to generally grab the big shape. There we go. For this one, it's a little bit like too gray when we grab it, so I'm just going to go ahead and manually grab like a mid-tone red. And cool, there we go. Now we have our neon sign. Well, that's basically it for this assignment, y'all. If you have any questions for my students, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful and I will see you all in the next